Welcome to another edition of Country Living with the Wades. We're working now on our raised beds, putting netting over them to keep the moths and caterpillars out, so enjoy. We appreciate it. Thumbs up if you like us, and subscribe. In this video, we want to show you how easy it was to set everything up. But there's something else I want to show you too. See, I'm watering right now. I have this head, or the sprinkler head on a shower, and the water just goes right through. It doesn't stay on the screen at all on the netting. It just goes right through, straight through to wherever the plant is that I'm pointing at. So this is actually excellent. Something else I want to show you. I don't know if you can see it right now, but the turnip greens, mustard greens that we mixed in and planted, I believe it was either Saturday afternoon or Sunday. Today is Tuesday. I'm going to bring the camera over and show you how good these are growing. These are rows of turnip greens and mustard greens. She likes to mix them together. They are germinated already. They were just planted, I can't remember now if it's Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, very quickly. We watered them right then. Today is Tuesday afternoon, so at worst case, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the third day after planting. And look at this. The rows are already clearly visible. And I don't know if you can see much of this yet, but that's our row of onions. And our garlics are just starting to come up right now. I think there's four little rows of garlic, and they're just starting to come up right now. As you can see, we're putting garden netting on the broccoli and Brussels sprouts over here. Don't know how well you can see through this netting. Maybe you can see right there. You see all the holes in those leaves? My goodness, these aren't 2 weeks old, and we've already picked worms off once. And we were going to spray with neem oil because we were out of neem oil. So before we sprayed, we were going to go ahead and pick and see if we could find any. I want to tell you, we got how many? 40? Yeah, we probably got 40 at least off of those 12 plants. And well, that's not even 4 each. We probably got 60 off of those, five per plant. Now we have these over here. Also, they were just planted yesterday, and I've only got 2 hoops, so I've got to get more hoops. You can see how spread out the hoops are on this one. We're just now starting to put it on there. It's not snugged up yet, but I want to put the hoops closer on this one over here. I'll have 5 going down the middle on each side over here, whereas on the first raised bed there's only 3. So that's our thing today, is protect our plants that do not have blossoms or flowers on there that need bees. Well, these little cabbage and broccoli were just planted yesterday, and already we're starting to see some little worms on. So we're going to have to do the same thing that we're doing with raised bed number 1. We're going to have to go ahead and cover it. There's nothing in this bed that has flowers on it for the needs of the honeybees or anything. So as soon as we get neem oil on these and inspect them to make sure they're clear, because this is cabbage and this is broccoli, and the worm is the little green worm. We call it the cabbage worm. And these are several rows of turnips and mustard greens mixed. A little row of onions already coming up. They're just planted a few days ago, and you can start to see a few garlic in here in this one. Well, we don't have any little cabbage worms on these right now because Deborah's already picked them off. But we're not saying that the cabbage worms got on them here in one day, because she lays the eggs on the back side of the leaf, and it takes a day or 2 for them to hatch and make very, very tiny caterpillars that grow up to be about an inch long and a little bit fat. So they probably came from where we got them from the racks where they were sitting outside before we brought them home. I got 3. Putting these in with 1-inch pieces already in the concrete is so easy. Is it all the way down? There we go. Take this out. Just bend them over and stick them in the hole. All right, so these are 1/2 inch Schedule 40 PVC. At Lowe's, I just picked these up at the store. They were $3 and basically 45 cents a piece. And just need to go get some more bricks, and then we'll put our netting material over there, over the top of it. And one piece of this netting that we have is enough to go the full length and cover with no seams. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is garden mesh netting. Fair. It's a 10 feet by 33 feet, ultra fine mesh size. So we're going to spread it on. We're not going to cut it. This is the same netting that we used on the other one. And you can see how much we've got left over that's bunched up on the end. Move, dog. You want to leave it bunched up on that end or this end? Let's get it over first. We can slide it back and forth. Covers nicely. Oops, come here. I've got plenty on this end. Let me go ahead. Let's just bunch it up on this end down here instead of that end. Tell me when to stop. Okay. We need to go a little bit more to the left, don't we? Let me put a little bit more over. Maybe I'll do it this way first. And do the ends last, I guess. So we get the sides at the right. Ow, gosh, there goes the thumb. Well, we didn't cover them with neem oil, but we did pick off any caterpillars that we saw, and we have the neem oil left. We can check it in a couple of days and see if we start to see any caterpillars. But I think that should be it. We should be protected from the white butterfly with a black spot that makes cabbage worms that just does a number on cabbage, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. Okay, if you like these videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you. Well, the hoops are in place, and so is the garden netting. And I tell you what, it really looks good. It was so easy to set up and put on, especially with the hoops, the way we put the hoops into the bases of the hoops into the concrete blocks with cement. That just worked out absolutely perfect. And the length comes out just absolutely perfect also for the 10-foot wide netting. See, if you see, we have just a little bit left over on each side, enough to easily set the bricks on. And adding the extra hoops on this one reduces some of the droop that we have in the number one. So you can see we were 1, 2, 3, 4, skipping 4 holes to put one hoop in. And over here, we're basically skipping 3. So we've got 5 hoops in the middle here. Well, might as well say all 7 hoops to make the full length. We have 7 hoops on our 16.5 foot bed. And whereas the bed number 1, we only have 5 hoops total. But this is doing really well. I think it's going to really keep out the moths and the caterpillars and maybe most of the other things that might try and eat our plants. I want to come over here. I want to show you some of the damage that we had already from this just being here 2 weeks. Look at the brussel sprout there. If you can see it. I don't know if you can see it very well. Yeah, you're looking through the netting now. The netting is so fine. Look at the holes in there. And some of these would have 7 or 8 little caterpillars on already. So all these got picked off by hand, and then everything was sprayed down with neem oil, and then the netting was put over. We didn't put the netting over the bell peppers and jalapenos because they are still flowering and still making. It's incredible the amount of bell peppers and jalapenos that we've been getting off of this raised bed. And in the back, carrot seeds are there germinating. Hopefully in a couple of weeks that will start to turn green as well, but we won't have to cover the netting over that because the insects don't really bother that so much. So this is it. We're very happy with it.